territories are so funny now because everything is everywhere.
Exactly. We are based in Buenos Aires.
Sebastian
Broadcast.
Tabani, MSN, Argentina. You have speed.
Okay. I read that you based the movie in Josie Wales. Why is that?
Well, I felt like it was the right darkness, the tone. I wanted, in shifting, I think Hugh and I wanted to shift the Wolverine into a darker place. And to me, that was the perfect film because I thought this should be much more a journey. You know, most superhero films are generally about some super bad villain coming to Earth, wanting to destroy a city, a country, a continent, a planet. That's not what this is. It's more of a mystery film. It's where Logan comes to a strange land and doesn't know who to trust. And in many ways, I found parallels with Josie Wales as a tone, a performance tone.
It's interesting because in that movie, from that movie, they came the Eastwood rule. You know, Philip Kaufman was fired by the Star. So
that part of the film I didn't want to emulate.
Exactly. But your films are very much Western because I remember Copland, I remember Yuma. So, but in Western in terms of waiting.
Yes, I like the simplicity of the Western structure. Also the samurai structure, which is very similar to the Western structure. I think you can get a lot more character and a lot of a chance for your actors to do a lot more with the simplicity and the beauty of the structure of those films.
And which Japanese movie were you paying homage to?
Well, no, I don't know I was paying homage, but there's many that I love. Yojimbo, Seven Samurai, all the Mifune samurai films I thought were incredible. And there's also a great thing called the Samurai Trilogy.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, incredible. Hold on one second.
Sure. It's a great Criterion edition of.
Yes. No, and I was watching that. I got that shortly before we started, and I thought the fantastical visuals, amazing visuals.
When you were addressing, the samurai story, did you encounter something in Japan that you want to incorporate that you didn't thought about it before?
That I hadn't thought about before? Yeah. Well, the train sequence in the film came from me. There's a high-speed fight on a bullet train in the film. Shinkansen, yeah. It came from me writing it as we were working on the film. We didn't really have that sequence planned, and I just felt like this is too unique. I want to see we could do something really unique. There's been many fights on trains in the history of movies, all the Westerns, even Buster Keaton films, but never one at 300 miles an hour.
And how do you find Hugh after Kate and Leopold, after 100 of years of working together?
Well, it was 12 years since the last time we worked together. And so I was really ready I was imagining what's going to be different. He's a major, major movie star worldwide now. But to his credit, I think there's very little different about him. Hugh is very humble, hard on himself. He's up for the challenge, incredibly hardworking. I mean, you don't need me to even tell you. You just look at the body he put on for this film, the physicality he put on for this film. It's insane. It's the veins rippling, his muscles huge, and he's a big man. It's not easy. And that's a kind of dedication and a hunger that still exists in him to get things right, to always get it right.
I know your fields, Identity, Yuma, we mentioned Copland, Girl Interrupted. So you tackle any genre. Why do you think that nowadays Hollywood like to typecast directors and see something director like you who tackles every genre differently?
I don't think it's just Hollywood that likes to typecast. I think we all like to typecast. I think the press likes to typecast too. I think it's easier when you go, famous horror director James Mangold or famous drama director. When you move around, it makes it harder to put a frame around you. And it's not bad. It's that in life it's easier when we can label people. I think both you and I think that's part of the bond we have with each other is that we both like to try different things. And some things stay the same. I see this movie and I see elements of my other films in it, but I don't know if others do. But I see consistency for myself of just my own vision of what these movies can be. But it is hard, and I think earlier in my career it was harder. Now I think I've done enough kinds of movies that I'm very lucky. I think people give me opportunities to do many, including many different kinds of things.
You mentioned the certain elements that you could trace in your movies, and there's been said that as a director of films, throughout his entire career just one movie because all the themes are connected. So
Yes.
what's your theme in your movies?
Well, I'm not supposed to know. I think it's better if I don't exactly know, or else I'm too aware. But I do think that I'm very focused on the intimacy between characters, between people, the spaces in between the words, as a kind of place I like to paint, a place I like to encourage the actors to go, is that space when words aren't there. And I think as movies get faster and faster and audiences get more and more impatient, I think it's a harder thing to try and maintain in this culture, is kind of those unique lyrical moments between people that are indescribable and only movies can do. You can't even do it in the theater. Only movies can show these kind of poetic moments where no words are spoken at all. And it's one of the reasons I love the character of Wolverine, is he doesn't really like talking. So that it actually, there's a really beautiful quality of almost a silent, brooding hero to him.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Thank you. Pleasure. And I was